on today's Success or Excuses podcast, we have Emma Ross. Emma, welcome to the Success or Excuses podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit, who's Emma Ross?
So I'm a commercial broker. I run my own firm and I've been doing it. It was our 2-year anniversary 2 weeks ago. So I've always kind of been in finance since I dropped out of uni and then get into it working just the bank and kind of worked my way up. And then I ended up working for commercial finance within HSBC. Mm-hmm. Then moved over to work.
HSBC.
They're actually a really good lender, honestly.
They're a pain in the bum.
Their processes aren't the best, but they're actually really good. And then I went and worked for another broker firm as employed. And then, 2 years ago, took the leap to start Ross Commercial Finance.
Scary stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scary stuff. So let's go with that first. Let's start it. I'm going to go all the way back to you, by the way. But let's start with the decision to start your business.
It wasn't easy at all, to be honest, and I probably wouldn't.
You're probably making really good money.
Yeah, I was on I can't remember what it's called when you leave at the end of the year, what's called your P60. That was like 140 grand the year I left. So I left HSBC on 34,000 and within 3 years was up to 140. So that's like an insane increase. Obviously I was taxed horrendously. But yeah, when I left there, it wasn't an easy decision. I probably wouldn't have left. There was just a few things in my company that I was working for that we maybe just didn't align with, is probably the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. So at the time, Marty had left quite a good job, but he was working with the Prince's Trust. So he was on basic minimum wage. I also support my family. So my mum is disabled as well. My dad's got Parkinson's. So I've got a lot of out with just my immediate family.
Responsibilities that rely on you.
So when I left, I was like, oh my goodness,
why? So what was because most people, right, when they start a business, it's a vision, a dream, it's I think I can do a better job. What was that? What was going on in your mind? Because it's ballsy. Yeah,
so the year that I left, I would have hit, if I stayed to the end of the year, £500,000 net income for the company in 1 year. So I know 140 grand is amazing, but that was then getting taxed at 55% or whatever it is. Yep. So I was looking at that and how much I was actually making versus what I was bringing into the company. So that was a massive driving factor. But I know the way that it works in brokering is you don't really get paid until 6 months after, because say there's a commercial deal that I broker and then that doesn't pay out until 3-4 months later. So I knew that there was going to be a gap at the start where I wouldn't be making any money. We couldn't take any of our clients with us. So I knew basically it was starting from the start again. So I was very much aware the first 6 to 9 months that I might not make anything. However, it didn't really go like that, to be fair. I was just far too panicky.
Because when you went into business, I remember when you first started your business, you were right out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you were screaming for the rooftops. You were setting meetings up with everybody and their dog. You went to town.
There was no chance I was letting that fail. Absolutely no chance. Even now, and I'm the worst advocate for work-life balance and I don't think it's a good way to be, and I don't I wouldn't say if anything I need to learn to do the opposite, but I would say for the last 2 years I've put my blood, sweat and tears into this 16
You're no successful in business unless you're putting your blood, sweat and tears in.
Honestly,
I'm 8.5 years in and I've still worked 7 days a week a lot of the time. Because I don't want to be like that forever. That is my main thing. I really don't. Do you know the thing though, honestly, Emma, it is I used to think, so I'm right into my gym, right? So I got up early and I'm away into the gym and I come back on a Saturday and a Sunday. So we're normally back in the house, me and my wife, because she's co-founder, and we go to the gym together. So we do everything together, actually, fair enough. And we come back and I'm normally about 9:30, 10:15, and I've got nothing to do. I don't want to go to the shops and do all that shit. So we just go into our home office and get shit done. Yeah. That's when you cross all the T's and dot all the I's and all the things that you didn't have time during the week to do. I love that catch up.
Yeah, I do.
That helps me move forward.
No, I agree. And even for me mentally, I struggle with the thought of not being so busy, because it probably sounds quite dark, but if I'm too in my own brain too much, I worry. And I think when I was younger, so my dad suffered quite bad anxiety when I was growing up, and then I went through a stage of my life where I suffered extreme anxiety.
Really?
Extreme, and I think I worry a lot about getting back into that place in my mind again. So if I keep myself busy, I know that I don't have time to be too much in my thoughts, which is obviously, if I speak to any sort of therapist or anyone that's in tune with, they're like, you're just prolonging like something.
I say, who gives a shit?
Like,
that's how I think about it. Who cares?
And people keep saying you need to like go back and like go in one with your body, and I'm like, no, I just want to like drown anything that's making me worry and just think about work
and just keep making money.
Yeah, like I feel like I could just plod along doing that, but I do think that I do work too much. Like I know I do, like, and it's getting to a stage that I work so much that I know it's affecting my health. Like, so I've got a frozen shoulder now.
I've seen that. I've been going to the same clinic, Lanarkshire.
Yeah,
I go there as well.
So I've actually had to book in again for 2 weeks' time, but this is getting worse and worse and worse, and like everything that I'm now reading into, it's like, oh yeah, like stress and like all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, so I don't want it to get. I went to my sports massage guy yesterday. He was like, while your body is allowing you to do stuff, you need to do it because you don't want to be forced into the fact that something really bad happens to you because you've not taken care of your body. And I don't, like, I would love to go to the gym. Like I used to go on my pelleting every day, and see, since I started this business, like I don't even have time to, like, even if I've got to go to the toilet and I'm out for 30 seconds, that 30 seconds to me is like, shit, I like need to catch up. Like, and that's how extreme it is. Like,
so you really do need to make some changes at some point.
And it's not to say, well, the biggest part is finding staff. So
absolutely, everybody's problem. We're going to go there next.
I'm struggling with that big time. So at the moment, there's 5 of us. We're just taking on another girl to start.
How good is that?
It's so good.
2 years in, 5 staff. I know. The bloody awards that you've won. And we're going to go there too, by the way. so anyway, carry staff. Let's go with staff.
Staff has been like, so if I could take on another 2 brokers, but I interviewed one guy and he wanted 179 grand basic, 5 trips to Dubai a year. I was like, okay, no, that's not doable.
Go to Dubai and you'll make that money, but you ain't going to get half
So I was like, right, I need to, so I'm going to need to take people in and train them up realistically. So I took my best friend on, but she's going through like a bit of a midlife crisis at the moment. At the same time, it's probably not the best time to take on someone, but she talks about that on our podcast. By the way, I'm not like throwing her under the bus, but she will be good once she's like everything's sorted and all that. But we're taking on someone else as well. But I think if I could get people to actually do more of the work, then I can maybe hopefully start to have a life again. But the now, and see, because I'm so like, I'll never, and this sounds so bad, but I never want to let people down. So I will not go to my bed at night without an email answered. So even if that means at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I'll do it.
Exactly the same.
Like, and but I just think as well, if I don't do that night, people say, switch off and pick up tomorrow. No, because tomorrow I've got another 10 new calls to do. All the emails will then, so even today, so I've got this today. See, by the time I get out here, I'm not kidding myself, I have about 100 emails to deal with. And they're all things that need action. So if I don't pick that up tonight, that rolls on to tomorrow, and then tomorrow we're on our own podcast all day. So then it rolled on, and then the full weekend's just work again because I've not caught up on it so it's just a vicious cycle.
Staff are so I mean, we've got 17 staff now. It is so difficult to get good people, and what I've found is we tend to hire based on what we kind of afford, right? And they're not always the best people, but they're all right to get you to that next level. And then you're going to get, and then you've got to go through the same thing again. And even when you bring on people who have got experience, they don't do it your way. I know, that's the thing. They don't do it your way. And you're like, oh.
I know. So like, I was looking at like ChatGPT is like my best friend. But I was like, honestly, it's my agony aunt and everything. So I'm like, help ChatGPT. Like, I'm feeling like this. Like, what should I do? And ChatGPT was actually like saying, right, you need somebody that's going to come in and be like a second. You're not doing deals, but like answering your email. Take the pressure. But I'm like, they're not going to be able to answer the emails the same way as I'm going to answer, and they're not going to be able to do this as fast. And then what I'm just going to end up doing is chasing them because, and then I'm like, then I'm adding another layer of confusion. So I just, maybe this is a control thing where I need to let go of it or something. Like,
I had to do it. I started this business with zero experience. Nothing at all. Built all the programs, built the whole business. That everything was, well, I mean, my wife could say me, the brains of the operation, helped me build it. And people don't realise that like it's when it's your baby, when it's yours, right? You become a control freak because you want things done a certain way. You want your customers and clients to go, man, you need to go to Emma because like she is going to get shit done. Yeah, definitely. Right? Obviously, I'm trained, so it's slightly different, but you want them to feel like you know the saying, no like and trust you. So you want all your customers and clients to feel like that.
Yeah.
And no everybody's got that same commitment that you've got. No everybody's got that. And that's where the control comes in.
Well, I was thinking
you've got to let go.
I know, but I think that is what's made me like do so well in 2 years, is because I am so committed.
But you'll never grow if you don't learn to pass stuff down.
I need to figure out something, because it's like, it's not going to be like sustained at this level.
And you'll end up divorced.
Yeah. No, so to be fair, Marty is like super, super supportive, to be fair. Like, but yeah, I know that if I don't get more staff in to help me, then it's going to go downhill. So
it is, honestly, it's such a hard thing to kind of pass on that control to other people. And it is really difficult. Yeah. But you have to do it if you're going to grow. You have to do it. Like, I want to talk about you've won a few awards, right? And it's quite tough in your industry for in any industry actually, for women in business. What's that been like for you?
So the women in business bit has actually been better than what I thought. Right. Like, I would say it's probably actually went in my favour being a woman, because I don't have as much competition out there. Right, so that's right. Yes,
mostly men.
Yeah, so I would go to a room and there might be like every event I go to, I'm the only woman at the table. But I would say it's a bit like so we had a guest on our podcast, and her name's Callie Jaff, and she always talks about it being your flex. So like, what is it that makes you stand out? I would say I go into a room, sometimes the only woman, I've got tattoos. I
was going to say the tattoos are out. I'm covered on them as well.
But I would say
I covered mine with a one podcast.
I've normally got them out.
I know you've normally got them
out. But I would say I used to make me really intimidated. So when I worked at HSBC, I had a client, and I remember he put in a complaint about me saying that I looked unprofessional, and it really stuck with me. And I actually
because of tattoos.
And it was just, he was based in London. He was an older guy, so maybe like his generation or whatever. But I really, at the time, I was a lot younger. It really affected me, and it made me want to cover myself up and everything. And HSBC at that time were maybe not as much evolved as what they are now, but you were always to be like, when you put stuff on, it was always like on your social media and stuff, you were to be like, no, I wasn't really to be me. Do you know what I mean? I always had to like
corporate line.
And I think,
and you understand that to a point.
I do understand, like, definitely, especially because I'm really into football and stuff, so probably like, don't tell the world what team you support, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. But I think changing from that to like being my own business and I can just be who I want, and if you don't like me, then you don't like me. And I would love to actually say that I don't care if people don't like me, but I actually still do. But I can still be myself. Yes. So, with my tattoos, I walk into a room, and if I've got tattoos, sometimes people will look at me. But I've trained my brain to be like, well, this is actually your superpower. Yeah. Like, rather than
this is how it is. Is it?
And rather than seeing it as a weakness or being scared. So I used to have this thing where I was really scared with guys in grey suits. Don't know what it was. Like, literally, somebody could be wearing a brown suit, and I wouldn't be scared. And as soon as there's a guy, like, I don't know what it is. It must have been just a nervous thing that I'd built up in my head. But I've just tried to, over the years, turn that into, well, I'm walking into a room with all these guys in the grey suits that used to intimidate me, to being like, no, actually, like,
I've got something to say, and I know my shit.
And I've tried, it's not always the case, and don't get me wrong, I still get nervous with a lot of stuff as well, but I have tried to turn that around to make it more of a superpower rather than a weakness. Yes. But that's just, but I do still think that there is like events that people go to where women are like still made to feel like, it was actually me and, don't know if you know Lee Mayer, he's like,
yes, I know Lee.
So
yes,
me and Lee done like a joint meeting, we do quite a lot together, and like a guy came in and
Mayor Finance.
Yes, that's the one. So a client came in, and he was like, I was the one that was doing it. It was commercial property. I was doing all the deal, but the guy just kept looking at Lee the full time.
Absolutely, that's mental. That happens to me and my wife, and I'm like, you need to speak to her.
But
I don't know.
I was actually saying the information. I was like, hello, I'm the one that's giving you all the information. Just kept looking at Lee, shaking Lee's hand as if I was just the admin assistant taking. But like things like that happen quite a lot. Like, but I have probably just got used to them now. Like, to
I'd call that shit out.
I know. I probably, maybe the braver I get, the older I get, I might be feel more comfortable to do it. But like, yeah, I would say that from that point of view, being in this industry that's all male dominated, I've learned to use it to my advantage rather than try to see it as a disadvantage.
Absolutely. And so you should.
Yeah, I would agree. And then from the award side, what you asked me, I would say that that's been amazing. Like, so, like there's a lot of like kind of, I don't want to say smaller.
You pinch yourself. You're like, holy shit.
I never think, like, I genuinely never think I'm going to win them, like, ever. Like, and I always say, oh, there's better people than me, without a doubt. The ones that are not like in our industry mean something to me, but they're not, probably didn't mean as much to me as like the NECFB is the one that we just won, where we won. Yeah, so that probably meant more to me than anything. So I won Best Scottish Broker and Best Commercial Mortgage Broker, and then highly commended for Northern Ireland. But I was up against like some really tough competition, and I think because I'm based in Scotland and I'm so passionate about it, to win that, like honestly, like I actually physically cried, and everyone who knows me will know I'm not a crier.
Like. And I'll bet you did a few noses at the joint and all.
Yeah, a lot. Which was also hard because I don't like pissing people off. Like, so I felt
well, you're in business, you need to accept it because that's what's going to happen.
I know. So I won that, and then the B and C, which are other like biggest one in the industry, I won Best Bridging Broker, which is like phenomenal. And then I've won like a lot of like local ones, which has been great as well. But it's just when you're sitting there, if I'm being honest with you, I don't love being there because I get so nervous about it.
Really?
I take like 4 Imodium, 5 Propanolol, like, so and it's not the case if I'm scared in case I don't win. It's just, I think I care so much about it that I get so worked up, like my hands go cold, like I'm running to the toilet, like the NECFB awards after I won, I was sick everywhere. I just felt so uptight about it, like, and then we went out after it because we'd booked Albert Slosh. We went out with a girl I know from down south, and we were, instead of enjoying the night, I couldn't even have one drink or anything because I'd worked myself up so much during the day that by the time it got to night time, I was like, I just want to go and be in my jammies and go to bed. Like, I was so overwhelmed by it all. So I don't actually think I enjoy awards. And I actually said to Marty, I was like, I'm so glad we've got no more awards at the end of the year. And he was like, how do you feel about next year? I was like, I don't even know if I can mentally take like going for any of these. Like, but a lot of them we don't get the option to go for them. So a lot of them, the lenders actually put us up, which is even more rewarding because the way that we work in our industries, we've got to do like a proposal document, I call it, which is just like a presentation to every lender. So client would come to me and say, I want to buy a commercial property. I'll do a full like deep dive into the clients, their background, everything. I put this in a big pack that we present to the lenders, but we physically present that to them. So we might go to like 10 lenders for a client to get the best deal, and then we negotiate and kind of batter them off each other to make sure we get the best deal. But to be nominated from the lenders where they're saying your proposals are the best, like you're getting the best for your clients, they're just like that means more to me, even more than winning the awards. See the fact that the lenders are the ones that are putting us up for these, and
it's a recognition, really, isn't it? It's 100%. Thinking, right, I'm doing something right. So I want to talk about Marty. I'm assuming this is your hubby.
Yes, it is.
So how does he feel about what's going on with this kind of rise to fame, we'll like to call it?
To be honest, he's like, couldn't be more supportive in any way, shape or form. Like, he actually works in the business now as well.
Right, okay.
To start with, wasn't great, to be honest. Like, we argued like mad because he was in the office every day, and like I was like, going to just stop being around me, like. So, but now he works from home, it's so much better. But he's great, and he's totally so supportive of me, like, and I don't think a lot of guys would be, because I am going to these events, there's guys all the time, and a lot of the guys are sleazy as fuck. So, and he's totally sound with it, because we've been married now for
it's an industry, it's full of men, and they've got egos, and it is what it is, isn't it? Something.
But he also knows that I'm one of these people that I'll get pure, like, I think it's the anxiousness in me. I always say it's because I was brought up in the churches, like my full life I was brought up in church, like, and I think it's a part of me that like knows what's wrong. So see, even if I do something that's like maybe not crazy wrong, I won't be able to sleep at night. Like, so he knows that I can never cheat on him, because I'd be the first person to tell him. Like, I think that, and I think I've been like that, like, with everything. Like, see, that way, for like I've done, like, even I had a client and the deal went like totally wrong, like, I'm not somebody that would be like, oh well, I've made my, like, that would haunt me until I fixed it, to the extent that something went so wrong with a client before that I paid everything that the client lost out on. Because to me, I would rather be able to sleep at night, not know that I've
that's your superpower in business then? Yeah. It's because you care so much. That's what it is. So that's obviously, like, because a lot of people, right, when you get into business, right, first of all, they don't realise how tough a gig it is. Right, people don't, when you get into business, you don't realise how tough it can be, because, as you said, you're everything to everybody all the time, 24 hours a day, and it never stops. And then you've got that real care about the customer, that real desire to give them the best possible product, the best service, the best everything. And then they see the success, Like, they see the winning an award. Who does she think she is? How? She shouldn't be winning that award. But what they don't see, as you said, is it getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Is it no sleeping at night? They don't see all that stuff that, excuse me, but sitting, going to the award ceremonies with all these sleazeballs running about you, and that's tough.
Yeah, it is.
And you've got a hubby who's, knows this is going on, knows what's happening, and is fully supportive. That's the bit that people don't understand or see.
And I would say that it's probably a massive part of the fact that I have done so well, because he does the school, gets the kids up for school in the morning, does their pet lunches.
The opposite of most men.
The opposite of
good on him.
And see, the thing is we were actually out with a couple we know, and somebody said something like, I would be so embarrassed if my wife made more money than me. And like, it was pure an inferior way. And I was like, well, first of all, we've got a joint.
Bonkers.
Like, we make the exact same amount of money. Like, we don't, it's not as if I've got more money. Like, and I might be the face of it.
It's us.
But it's us that do it. Like, so like Marty's massively in charge of doing like the podcast side of things. Like, we do a wee bit with like finance and football. He runs that sort of stuff. He has also got a football club that he runs, which like we are part of as well. Like, so.
Is that the women's football?
Yeah, yes. So she can. So we've got like, I can't even remember how many people now, to be honest, but like 200 like girls, and like, so he runs all that as well. So we've got a busy schedule between us, but we make it work. So, and we're lucky enough that we have just moved into like a really nice house, and like we've got like really nice holidays we go on. So as much as we work, we try and like make sure that and we spend a lot of time together. So I would say what people like. Yes, we do argue the same as every couple does, but we spend a lot of time together, like out with work, where we'll go to gigs together, we go to football together. And
exactly the same.
I just love it. Like, if somebody says to me, who do you want to hang around with? Like, I would choose to hang around with Marty. It's not a case of like,
I'm the same with my wife.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
She's my best pal.
Yeah, definitely.
We work together, so we sit right next to each other in the office. We obviously eat together. We go to the gym together, so we're in the gym every day. So we normally go during the day, so normally 11:30, 12 for an hour. We go to the gym together, we go out together, we go to gigs together. I mean, she's great company.
Yeah.
And we're working our arses off as well. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I could. In fact, I want to go back to that, because I honestly believe that working with my wife Ines has improved our relationship. I always think to myself, like, and you'll know these relationships where they can't be bothered with each other, and they're both having careers and they only see each other a few times a day, and they just can't be bothered. I just think, what kind of marriage is that?
No.
How horrible must that be? I'm for example, this podcast, on the way back, what's the first thing I do when I get in the car?
Phone her.
A phone her.
Yeah, I'm the same.
How you doing?
Marty actually laughs because I'll literally be driving home from work, which is a 10-minute drive, and then I'll be talking to him, and he's like, is that you in the drive? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm literally about to see you in like a second. I'm like, yeah, I'm just
maybe we're just weirdos
then. But yeah, I would say that it's been, I don't know how much us being in the office together was good, if I'm being honest. So you sitting next to your wife,
right next to each other.
Like, I feel like that was too much. But,
Emma, we've so when we first started the business, it was quite awkward because my wife had never ran a business before. I'd obviously been in business but never ran my own business, so I kind of understood the P&L and understood how a business ran. My wife came from logistics, but she's so clever. Yeah. I mean, she is very, very clever. One of those women that if she doesn't know, she'll go learn.
Yeah, that's great.
She runs. So she runs our accounts. We've got an accountant, but she does our accounts. She does payroll. She does our VAT. She does deals with all the invoicing. She deals with the sales team, and we use a very integrated CRM, which is a training.
I'll need your help with that. You need a good CRM system.
A brilliant, like Zoho.
Right. Okay.
Zoho. It's called Zoho One, and it does everything. Anyway, we spent, and she's now a super user. So we used to have to hire subcontractors to come in and build the back end, or we call it blueprints. So every kind of deal will have a different blueprint. Every kind of training course has got a different blueprint. Every client's got a different blueprint because they go through a different sales cycle, we'll call it. Yeah. And obviously you've got the certification and proofs. And anyway, long story short, and she now does that. She learned.
That's great.
She learns, so now she builds her own blueprints. So we don't even need even though we've got an IT person that works for us full time, she's training him. Now, this is a Strathclyde engineer, IT engineer, and my wife's training him how to work the back end because she's got that mindset.
And see, because she cares about it, because it's your business as well. That is massively like...
She can't switch off.
Yeah.
She's probably like you, where I can switch off. My wife cannot switch off. It's constant.
Does she want to come work with us?
It's constant. She'll sit, right, and we like to chill, right? We like shit telly, right? Just any shit. Married at First Sight UK or something.
We love all that too.
Right, so we love shite. But we normally don't stop working until 6:30, 7 at night. So by the time we actually sit down, it's nearly 8 o'clock and we go to bed early because we're up early.
Yeah.
So we're normally an hour and a half, right? So we'll put shit telly on and she's got her phone. And I'll say, put the fucking phone down. Put the phone down. I can wait till tomorrow. I know, but I need to. She says, well, I'm not, just carry on then. I'm not telling you what happened. I don't even have, like, literally, I've got my laptop on. Like, even when we were watching all the shit, I've got my laptop. Even when Marty's driving the car, I'm in the passenger seat with my laptop on me. Like, it's literally, like, attached to me. So, but, like, he used to say to me, put it down and just enjoy the programme and just, like, trying so that I could have a switch off. You need to switch off sometimes, honestly, you do. You need a switch off. I mean, we love the cinema, so normally we try and go to the cinema a couple of times a month, and that's switch off. So on a Friday, we'll leave the office 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we're done. So we'll go get something to eat, we'll go to the cinema, and then we'll go back up, and guess where we go? The office. Because we're no big drinkers either. Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about what's next, the future, the vision. What does that look like?
I need more staff.
Other than the more staff.
To be honest, like, I just want to, like, naturally grow. Like, I don't think, if someone said to me, what's your goal? I would like to be, like, I want to continue to be the best commercial broker. Like, I don't want my standards to slip. I don't want, like, for only 2 years old to be top of our game in Scotland is mental. Like, so I'm really cautious. I don't want that to slip. And then I just want to, we're really involved with football, like with the Sheikah, and I want that to continue growing as well. And we've kind of got a wee bit that now we're doing with, like, finance and football, like, try to tie them together. So that's a kind of side part that we want to grow, and then the podcast as well. So we've only been running that for like 3 months, and that's doing really well. So I just want to kind of keep running it. It is. I love doing it. We've managed to meet a lot of really lovely people, which has been great. But I don't think I've got, like, a set goal. Probably, actually, if I was to say my set
vision, look at it. So I want you to look into the future, 3, 5 years, 10 years from now. What does it look like? I just want to have a life again. It's probably like so build the business to a point that you can actually, you sorry, what was your hubby's name again? Marty. So you and Marty can actually take a step back. Yeah. And say, right, okay. I just want to work a normal shift, like from like 8 in the morning till like even 7 is fine. Now though, it's like 6 in the morning till like 2 in the morning. So if actually somebody was, if somebody said to me, what is your goal? My goal is to work a normal shift. But like, working 9 till 5. Yeah, that's actually my goal. But I would say, like, when I'm 40, I'm going to have a big festival. Like, I've always wanted to have my own festival, and I want it to be called E in the Park. And I'm going to get bands and everything to it. But when I'm 40, by that stage, I want to be at a stage that I've got a team big enough that I can work 9 till 5. Yeah. So that's probably my main goal. Good luck. I've got 17 that still has to work that. But yeah, that's probably my main goal. Brilliant. Listen, we're nearly at the end of the podcast. It's been an absolute cracking conversation. I ask all my guests this. What's your top 3 pieces of advice in business or in life? If somebody's listening, you're another woman, another female, male, anybody's listening to this podcast and they're thinking, I want to do what she does, or I would love to be like that. And what's your top 3 pieces of advice? Because you've been really successful in a really short time. Find a good mentor is probably one of them. So my mentor is CEO of one of the banks, and he is phenomenal, and I wouldn't have had the courage to do what I've done without him. Have a really good network around you. So I've got a really good group of girls, mainly, that's massively support me, and have faith in yourself. Like, I think it's massive to trust in your own abilities, and if you know self-confidence, if you know you're good at something, then jump on it and continue to just keep striving to be your best. Brilliant. I mean, 3 brilliant pieces of advice. Listen, Emma, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I thank you so much for coming along to Success and Excuses podcast. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, now all your details will be on the YouTube channel, it'll be on Spotify, it'll be on Apple, but how do they get in hold of you?
Just even my LinkedIn, and I'm just Emma Ross, my Instagram.
She's all on LinkedIn, by the way.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn quite a lot. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anything, just reach out anywhere.
So then it's Emma Ross.
On Instagram,
Ross Finance,
I'm Emma Ross Commercial Finance.
Yep.
On LinkedIn, I'm just Emma Ross, and then I think all the other ones, I'm just Emma Ross. But I think we've got Ross Commercial Finance for them all as well. So either of them will work.
Brilliant. Listen, as I said, it's an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant.